Hello all, I'm Marty with you here at Warehouse and Operations as a Career, and today I'd like to talk about our startup meetings for a bit. Last week we'd asked for some thoughts about those daily shift get-togethers, and I loved a lot of the things that were sent in to us. We also talked about the clamp and the slip sheet attachments, and I was lucky enough to hear from Lavoil. He called into the show today from Illinois. Lavoil is a lumping or unloading supervisor for a distribution center in the Chicago area. Now, he wears several hats throughout the shift, and today he'll be sharing some of his experiences with us. Maybe we can get him to share his secrets regarding the equipment and a little on his startup meetings as well. I have a gentleman named Nelson on the phone also. Nelson is a supervisor overseeing the unloading, selection, and utility shifts for a large food service DC in Texas. He'll bring some insight as to why our safety and startup meetings are so important for us. Personally, I didn't really experience much in the way of a startup meeting through my first few warehouse positions. When I went to work for a national corporation, really a huge facility, and everyone was kind of gathering over by the receiving office on my first night, I didn't really know how to react, honestly. I listened, of course, and to be honest, not much was really said. Our lead or supervisor, I don't really remember which one, but I think it was the lead Selector came over and spoke to us about the case count, how many trucks we had or that we'd be loading that night, and really kind of an estimated time we would wrap things up if we really got out there, got busy, and got hot at it. And that was really about it. Everyone went to work, and myself and 4 other new hires that were starting that same night were assigned our trainers, and we went on our separate ways. At the end of my first week, I attended a weekly safety meeting that went about the same way. This particular company was very safety conscious, but the organized or weekly meeting was really kind of brief, and its content was pretty much the same week to week. I'm excited to see pretty much across the board these days that the shift startups are much more informative, and the employees are not only really encouraged to participate, but are so interested in the subjects that they're leading the meetings in many instances and providing the topics as well. Today I'm seeing a lot of different exercises or stretching exercises being performed by the entire crew, being led by a lead or maybe even a safety committee member. I believe these changes and focus on both information and safety has been brought on by a career-interested and self-educated workforce. It's so exciting to see enthusiasm of today's young leaders. Let's all have that energy and lead ourselves and our peers in that direction. We'll be noticed, and I guarantee we'll help someone else with their career as well. Okay, we had asked our group for a few topics from y'all's startup meetings, and we had some great ones sent in to us. One individual from a production facility, I guess it was really more of a process in place, mentioned, "Today we were reminded to wash all utensils and stainless tables between cuttings with the proper solutions for our daily inspection." Another member stated, "We covered blade safety. Always use our sheath." He also commented, "Dispose of dull or old razor blades properly. Change blades only when wearing the safety glove." That's probably a pretty good one right there. Another member said they reviewed the equipment sign-out sheet. I think that's what they were calling their pre-trip inspection, maybe. I loved hearing from several stating they were reminded to not use any equipment they weren't trained on, and that was really a big one. I was impressed with that. Oh, and we heard a lot about pallets too. Don't stack them too high, and be sure to separate the good from the bad or the broken wood. Several mentioned not to stand pallets on their end or upright and to never place product on the floor. We had several general warehousing 101 reminders like never jump out the dock door, use our horns when entering the front docks, and never block entryways or doors. We noticed many facilities reviewed their GMPs or general maintenance practices. A few covered or brought up their SOPs or standard operating procedures and job duties or descriptions also. It's really great to hear so many places are taking the time needed to review and remind us as associates to work as a team. As I mentioned, I have Lavoil and Nelson on the phone with us today and willing to share their expertise and experiences with us. You gentlemen doing all right today?
Yes, sir. Doing well.
Yes, sir. Doing well.
Fantastic. Well, let's dive right in with a couple of questions. So, Lavoil, could you share a bit of your work history with us, sir? How'd you land in the operations world?
Yes, I started out 20 years ago at smaller companies and worked my way up to bigger companies using the clamps, reach trucks, EPJs, regular sit-down forklifts, and slip sheets.
Yeah, last week we talked about the electric pallet jacks. That's pretty much typically one of the first machines that will operate, powered-wise, as we get into warehousing, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And probably one of the easiest ones to learn, and it really kind of teaches you the safety and stuff. Nelson, could you share a little about yourself, sir, and how did you get started in the industry?
I've been in the food industry going on for like 12 years. After high school, I just got in the industry. I liked it, and I've been in the industry ever since then. I've done everything from warehouse, from stacking pallets to operating machinery, from shipping and receiving.
And that's kind of how we all get started. Really love the work. It's kind of like a workout, and shoot, we're getting paid for it. And experience comes every year that we're in it, doesn't it?
Yes, sir.
Lavoil, I understand you're a pro with the slip sheet and clamp attachments. We've had several questions on how to use them and really how to get started with them. How'd you get all that experience?
I gained that experience with smaller companies and slower companies, slower production. That way I learned my way and worked my way up from that, from clamping little stuff to big stuff to real expensive stuff that usually only can get clamped so hard, like TVs and mini refrigerators and stuff that can get dented and bruised. And basically knowing how to apply the right amount of pressure to what you're clamping, and basically just not tearing up on the product.
It is. That's one of the probably hardest things to learn about those two is, and I guess really it just kind of boils down to that experience word we keep talking about, over and over. Nelson, I know in your role today you have a huge impact with individuals' careers, their training, and their career thoughts, really. How do you plan your startup meetings or the planning process? Where do the topics come from each shift?
Well, I have a list of different topics I go over with my guys every single morning. I just pick from different topics where it varies from pallet protector, forklift safety, good food manufacturing practices, a lot of very different topics to go over. And I'm based on that, just go over from the field for my guys, where it could maybe, if I walk the plant the day before and I see that we got a lot of blocked emergency exits, so the next morning I pick that topic and I go over that topic with my guys.
Very well. Lavoil, you have a startup each day as well. I know, there's a lot of preparing that you have to do also. Do you think differently about pre-shift meetings today than you did, as an associate?
Yes, I do. When I was first started out as an associate, we didn't do the stretches in the morning. We didn't have a safety topic, and the only thing we got was our case count, and we was sent on our way. So yes, it's a big difference because what I always iterate on my safety topics is safety first. Safety. Watch where you're going, look in the direction you're traveling, blow your horn, come going in and out of dock doors, and in and out of trailers, watching the wet dock floor stuff you're doing, when you're dealing with a lot of produce, wet product, that half the dock floor is real wet. And picking up debris as far as broken pallet wood and straps or anything that can be from the product, that get that up right away. Everything is safety.
It really is, and keeping it interesting, that's a key component. Speaking of safety, Nelson, with safety being such an important aspect of our jobs and really our responsibility as leaders, how do you create and instill that strong safety culture in others?
Just making sure everybody understands how important safety is, especially working at a big facility as we do. Safety is our number one priority every single day. Just reminding them guys every single morning, be safe. And safety is about other people as well. Make sure you're looking out for safety for yourself and your fellow coworkers. So if you see an unsafe hazard around the plant, point it out. Don't wait till a supervisor or somebody else point out. You more than welcome to point out yourself and just make sure you keep everybody safe. Safety is about keeping everybody safe, not just about yourself.
You know, it is, and it's really just keeping it out in front of everyone, just like you mentioned. Could you share any advice or wisdom to any of us yearning to operate any specialized equipment like the clamp or the slip sheet Lavoil?
Yes, I can. Yes, I've been teaching it to others since I started. When I first mastered it, I started teaching it to others. New employees, older employees, everybody wanted to learn because they saw how easy it was to me.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's really just the experience word again, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Nelson, we'll wrap up with you, sir. Do you have any thoughts you could share with our group regarding operations as a career?
Yes, I do, sir. It's a very intriguing, exciting career path to choose. Just because there's a lot of growth in it, and you learn so many different things about the industry, just from working with the customer and serving the customer, and just a lot of room to grow.
There really is, and as you mentioned, it's a really interesting career, and I mean, it's never ending. You can go as far in operations as you really want to. I really enjoyed visiting with the both of you today, and us here at WAOC would like to pick your brains about some other topics sometimes. Any chance we could get both of you back for another episode?
Yes, sir. I would love to.
Sure can.
Outstanding. And as always, a sincere thank you to our listeners for listening in with us. I hope you found value with us today and come back next week. Remember, we retweet as many job postings across the nation as we can each week. And you can find us on Twitter at the little @ WHSEANDOPS. And we'd love a like on our Facebook page as well if you have the time. If you're an equipment operator, check out a new Facebook group called Warehouse Equipment Operators Community. It's really just kind of a place for those in the warehouse world to talk about our day with others. Until next week, be safe, and let's get noticed this week at our startup meetings. Show our supervisors and teammates we're striving for more.